Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Charles Figley again. Hope you're going to enjoy the class. This is the first knowledge block. Let me tell you a little bit about that. You know, about 70% of us have experienced at least one trauma in our lifetime. So it's highly likely that everyone who's watching this video, highly likely that they've experienced at least one. But you know, when we experience these, it's very often very individual. Sometimes it's unique. Sometimes no one knows about it. So what we want to do in this class, given the fact of how universal, is to note and to think about and to integrate our own experiences into understanding the impact of trauma, how it influences us, how it may push us in a particular major or field, profession, and then in particular, how a traumatic experience affects our worldview, the degree to which we feel safe with other people, maybe other people that may have been involved in our own traumatic experiences, maybe have caused it, or we thought that would be the case. But what are those kinds of influences? But trauma is everywhere in almost every profession. Architects, for example, when they deal with clients who want to erect a memorial to their child that has died. Dunblane, Scotland, in the late 1990s, there was this crazy maniac that came in and shot the entire classroom, including little toddlers and teachers. The challenges faced by anyone who wants to either tear down the school or erect a memorial or act like nothing's happened. It's very, very difficult, and architects not trained in these kinds of matters, it's quite a challenge for them. Nurses and physicians working in emergency rooms or in operating rooms, they see trauma all the time, but very few people recognize that they absorb a lot of that trauma. My latest book, First Do No Self-Harm, talks about that and how they often suffer in silence and how their own health, their own sense of self is changed by these kinds of experiences. Artists express post-trauma through their work. There is a section here in the knowledge block focusing on artists, the classics in terms of literature, um, not just in psychology, social work, psychiatry, but all fields are influenced by trauma one way or the other because it's so universal. So this knowledge block, we hope you will learn about trauma, how to define it, the different types of trauma, recognizing that trauma is both a cause and a consequence, recognizing that completing the first knowledge block, you'll be able to really get it, really have some appreciation for the universality of it. And that's when we want you to first visit the Trauma Quest, the game. Some of you may want to jump in right now, but what we hope you'll do is complete the first knowledge block, take the exam, and then use the points that you've acquired in the game. And the game, we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, especially just before Knowledge Block 2. And I think you'll have a good time. So dive into this. You'll see I'm going to come back and talk to you a little bit about some of the readings and to try to make sure that you get what we're trying to emphasize in these readings. So I'll talk to you a little bit later and enjoy.